This is Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Enjoy the action and excitement of NCAA Division II athletics at Augustana.
Augustana Sports Flashback is brought to you by Schoenemann's. Coach Tom Billiter's 14th ranked Augustana men's basketball team rallied from an 11-point second half deficit to defeat Minnesota Crookston 66-60 at the Elman Center. The Golden Eagles led 50-39 midway through the second half when the Vikings caught fire and went on a 16-1 run, which would eventually carry them to their 8th victory of the season. Cody Schilling paced the Augustana attack with 23 points. Dre Murray added 17 points, while Yuri Malashenko and Eric Jorgensen came off the bench to combine for 14. Derek DeZeau led the Vikings on the boards as he grabbed 6 rebounds. The next night, Augustana took on undefeated MSU Moorhead and came out on the short end of an 81-76 battle. The game was tied 35-all at halftime and stayed tight throughout the second half. The difference in the game was 3-pointers as the Dragons drained 11 while the Vikings made just 4. Leif Nomlin led Augustana with 19 points. Cody Schilling added 15 points and Dre Murray 11. Brennan Olson scored 12 and led the Vikings to a 32-29 rebound advantage as he claimed 8 boards. In women's basketball, Coach Dave Krause' team hosted Minnesota Crookston at the Elman Center and came up short as they fell 73-70 to the Golden Eagles. Augustana led 37-33 at halftime, but UMC stayed close and went up 68-66 with a little over 2 minutes to go in the game. The Vikings battled hard the rest of the way, but Minnesota Crookston held on to up their record to 6-2 on the season. Alex Feeney led Augustana with 16 points and 9 rebounds. Lydia Nelson added 15 points, with Molly Hayes tallying 12 to go along with 5 assists. The Vikings out-rebounded UMC 40-39 in the tightly contested contest. The next afternoon, Augustana took on MSU Moorhead and rolled to a 98-66 victory. The Vikings got out to a 45-22 halftime lead and never looked back as they improved their record to 7-3 overall and 4-2 in the NSIC. Molly Hayes led the Augustana ladies with 26 points and 6 assists. Lydia Nelson and Faith Tinklenberg added 16 points each, with Shantiva Ashley notching 10. Alex Feedy also scored 10 points and snared 6 rebounds. The Vikings out-rebounded the Dragons 37-30 and hit 12 three-pointers in the victory. That's our sports update for this week. When we come back, we'll talk Augustana men's basketball with Coach Tom Billiter. Stay with us.
Augustana Sportscene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition. By Schoenemann's, your trusted building center since 1888. And by Mid-Continent Communications, part of your community.
The most difficult times require the right team. Where we fight disease, discover cures, and believe in the power of play. That's the art and science of healthcare. The things we do with children every day at Sanford Children's.
When I was young, I loved helping my grandfather with projects. From building a birdhouse to odd jobs around the house, we always got our supplies from Schoenemann's. I remember the smell of the fresh-cut lumber and all the bins full of nails, nuts, and bolts. Today, my projects are a bit bigger, and so is Schoenemann's selection. I rely on them for everything I need.
Schoenemann's in Sioux Falls and Harrisburg. Expert advice, everything you need.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
Cleaning hard water spots takes time and effort. Be sure your water softener is working properly. Your Culligan man can make sure any brand water softener is working by performing a 10-point inspection for only $19.95. That's Culligan. Better water, pure and simple.
Even the highest efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan High Efficiency water softener can. The Culligan High Efficiency saves you up to 46% in operating costs, and it makes your glasses look 100% beautiful.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. For exceptional values on the Audi A4, visit your local dealer today.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a big fan of how youth sports can help kids stay physically fit. But as an athlete and a parent, I'm also very concerned about safety. Millions of sports-related concussions happen every year, and many go unrecognized. That's alarming because the wrong treatment can slow recovery, worsen the condition, or lead to permanent damage. Please learn the facts about concussions and help protect our young athletes.
To learn more, visit sanfordhealth.org/heads-up.
The Augustana Men's Basketball Report is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Joining me now is Augustana men's basketball coach Tom Billiter. Well, Coach, the Vikings were back home this past weekend, and it started out with a very hard-fought basketball game against Minnesota Crookston, but we came out on top 66-60.
Yeah, Crookston, very much improved team. We're down 11 with 10:20 to go and came back on a 21-2 run, and then we finally played with the urgency that we needed. But credit them. I thought they did great things. Anderson and Kuby were very good players that night, and they lost by 3 at Moorhead. We ended up beating them by 6, but that's a team that I think some people are going to struggle with when they have to go up to Crookston and play. And to be honest, I was proud of our kids. We had finals on that day. We had finals Friday, we had finals Saturday, we had finals on Monday and Tuesday. And so, our kids had to overcome some things, and I was really proud of how they battled back down 11 with 10 to go to win a game on against a tough team.
Well, I'm sure fans are interested. Vikings down 11, 50-39. Coach calls timeout. What'd you tell the guys?
I don't even remember. Everybody's making a big deal out of that, but I really don't. I promise I don't. Whatever happened that night, it didn't work against Moorhead because, we needed some stops against Moorhead and play with some defensive intensity and some desire, and we didn't have it. We were really flat, and credit Moorhead. But, I think, our guys know that when they, in order to win games, and something that we're still doing a little bit, Bill's playing kind of, I think, to the level of the competition as to how they're playing at that time. Instead of putting the pedal down and extending leads and really getting leads, we're just kind of leveling off and just kind of going to sleep, and you can't do that. You have to always be with an intense and an edge, and that'll get better as our bench gets better and our team gets better. We're going to get better at that.
Well, you can just see how good we are, though, as in the Crookston game, all of a sudden we turned on the juices, and it was a great run. Coach.
Yeah, and we need to play that way all the time, and we will. We're going to get better. It's just one of those things that as a coach, you just sit there and you just think all the time about how can you get 40 minutes like that, and that's what you always are desiring.
Well, the Vikings came back then here tonight at the Elman Center. Got off to a good start, got a lead on MSU Moorhead. They came back, tied it at halftime. It was seesaw the second half. We just came up a little bit short.
Well, it was a great college basketball game, and I credit Moorhead. I thought they really played well in the second half. Everything they needed to do, they did. They hit shots when they had to. Lindvers made a couple shots that were just, falling backwards and banks them in. And, you win games on the road by creating good breaks. And I'll tell you, there was a 5-point play. Those are backbreakers. And then there's an over and back, and I don't think he did it on purpose, but Hamilton really did a smart thing. Usually a kid is sprinting to half court and trying to save it. He stopped, and Dre ran right over him, and it was a good call. It was a foul, so you go from a turnover to an 88% free throw shooter getting 2 free throws, and it was the right call. But that was a smart play. I don't know how he thought to do that, but they did some things that allowed them to not only maintain the lead, but extend the lead, and that was the difference in the game. It was a great game. Those are 2 good teams. Those are 2 teams that can be, on a given night, there's not too many teams that were going to beat Moorhead tonight. That second half, they were just phenomenal, and they just really shot the heck out of it.
Well, the game is a game of bounces, and it bounces funny sometimes. It bounced Moorhead's way tonight. Coach, we got down toward the end, and you jumped into a zone, and doggone, we had them down, and they found a way to hit a 3.
There's the coaching. They had scored 9 out of 12 possessions, and we just thought, let's just throw it at them, and it really did fluster them. Shot clock was under 5, under 6, and they went inside. And for some reason, when the ball goes to the high post, we didn't do what we're supposed to do, and that's okay. We haven't worked on it that much, and that's my fault. We need to get it figured out and practice a little bit better. But credit Chapman burying a deep 3, on that wing. If he misses it, that's a huge play. Instead, it goes to a 5-point game. And that was a killer. That was a big bucket.
Well, there were a lot of bright spots in the game for the Vikings. Probably none brighter than the play of Leif Noman.
Well, yeah, Leif, I really give him credit because he played very poorly on Saturday night against Crookston, and I basically said that to him. He's a mature kid, and I said, Leif, let's bottom out here, big fella, because you're a much better player than this, and I don't know if you're thinking too much, or I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, quit doing it, because it's just not good. And Leif had a spring last year and a fall of where I thought he'd be an all-conference center, which I still think he can be, and he's a better player than that. And I thought tonight, against three good bigs, against a good inside team, I thought you got a chance to see what Leif, is able to do, and Brennan Olsen with 12 points and 8 boards. So, we ended up tonight getting 31 points from our front line plus 4 from EJ and Yuri. So, we ended up scoring over, half our points from our bigs, which is what we used to do. It was just, a game that they outscored us.
Right. Well, Cody Schilling, a great game against Crookston 23, came back tonight with a strong game. Tom, he's getting a lot of attention, and he's getting worked over pretty good.
Yeah, but he's a senior, and he's gotten the weight room. He's gotten himself stronger, and if you're going to be the returning leading scorer in the league and a preseason Player of the Year candidate, you're going to draw attention. And I think he's doing a good job of keeping a level head, and I think he's doing a good job of the things he needs to do. And Cody's such a versatile kid. We're just finding new ways for him to score all the time. And I thought he even had a couple looks tonight that he normally makes. And he's getting bumped pretty good, but that's what's going to happen. And I thought tonight were just a couple looks that he normally makes. He'd even had more of a he probably had 20 tonight as well. So we'll keep doing what we do, and all we're going to do is continue to improve and get better.
Well, the Vikings are 5-1 in the NSIC, 8-2 overall. It's been a great start, Coach. Happy holidays.
Yeah, you too, Bill, and all the fans. Appreciate them showing up here this weekend on a funny schedule, funny weekend. So, we have the best fans in all of Division II, and appreciate it very much.
The Augustana Women's Basketball Report with Coach Dave Krauth is next.
How do you hold a moment? Keep friends and family close. Witness the passage of time. Replay the glory days. Relive magical nights. Create memories to share. How do you capture a lifetime? One picture at a time. Life Touch. Photography for a lifetime.
You may have met one. The teachers who challenge. The ones who motivate. The ones who can fire imagination. The ones, in short, that you'll find at Augustana. Now, maybe you don't believe that one college could have so many great professors. If so, you're in for an education. Augustana.
My owie was a tumor and it hurts in my head and it's right here. I have 3 favorite colors, red, pink, and purple. I like to draw fairies, princesses, and clothes. I want to be, when I grow up, a clothes modeler. It models clothes. This is my victory.
Why do you play? Why go through all the pain? The endless practices? For the victories? For the joy of playing the game? Or do you play for something even greater? If you already know the answer, we're the network for you. Midco Sportsnet. This is how we do sports.
The Augustana Women's Basketball Report is brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications.
With me now is Augustana Women's Basketball coach Dave Krauth. We're right after the game here at the Elman Center. The Vikings knocking off MSU Moorhead 98-66, but we're going to start with last night's game, Dave. It was a dogfight against Minnesota Crookston, and we came up just a little bit short.
Well, we talked earlier today that probably 2 through about 12 for sure, maybe even 13. We'll see how it all goes, but it's probably going to be bunched for much of the year, and there are just a lot of good teams, and it's going to be every night for us where we're going to get challenged. And if you don't come and really have a good ball game, I don't care if we're on the road or we're here, you're really going to give yourself a chance to get another L. And we weren't maybe visibly that bad, but we just made mental mistakes. A couple of their two top scorers continued to do what they do, and we never really took their right hand away from them and did some simple things. And never really got on a big run, and they made some plays down the stretch, and we didn't.
Yeah, they just kind of hung around. The game was close the whole way. The Vikings led most of the way, and then down to the end, they were there, and as sometimes happens, seems like the ball bounced their way.
Yeah, and there were, I don't know, it just seemed like a half a dozen, maybe three on each end, where, boy, there, some bounce arounds went in for them and didn't for us. We had a couple critical free throws, maybe late in the game, too, that it would have helped a lot if we'd put them down, but I also, for the first time felt that playing small, like we'll be a lot this year, maybe hurt a little bit, where their point guard would try to get in the lane, and maybe it hurt us at Mary too. They can, shoot over our guards, but it was just one of those games, and you have to give Crookston as much credit as it was our problem.
Well, Crookston, we're going to see again, and it's going to be interesting to play them. They have an interesting style.
Oh yes, and Mike Roisland does a great job up there, and has gotten some good kids in there, and they've been a real solid team. Their only loss going into today was to Duluth, 4 points up with 10 seconds to go, and lost the game. But they're just a solid club, and you have to give them a lot of credit.
Well, the Vikings, to our credit, came back here strong in the second day of the homestand, and came out on fire, Dave, and never let up. Great win tonight.
Yeah, and prior to maybe even the last weekend, we'd been getting off to slow starts at the beginning of the ball game and at half, and did much better with that the previous weekend, and I thought tonight, just came out and just looked ready from the beginning, and got ourselves some baskets early, and really got from end to end, which is a strength of ours.
Yeah, it was a 45-22 halftime lead before the 98-66 final score. And Dave, a lot of young ladies contributing tonight.
Well, we had all five. We didn't start Emily Schulte. She had the flu and gave us a few minutes in the first half, but really, probably shouldn't have played. And but with our starters all got in double figures, and that's great when we can get balance and spread it around.
Yeah, and Molly Hayes had her best game of the season.
No doubt, and of course Molly is our obvious leader, and there's not every night where we need 20 points out of her, those kinds of things, but boy, I tell you what, she was knocking down shots and really got feeling good and got to the basket, particularly when she knocked down shots. They were so conscious of that, and she's a distributor too. Right. So it's not always just making baskets, she gets it to the open player.
Well, I noticed in the first half, Dave, maybe a little change in the way you played them. Looked like you shortened down your rotation a little bit, didn't play the three guards together, which was, at least at that point, which was a little change for
yeah,
them.
And we've got, Faith had Tinklenberg did not have a good ball game the night before, but came back, I thought, tonight and played better. Cami Coynes didn't really have a great weekend, but she can give us some good minutes, and sometimes maybe relies on knocking down her three too much to do other things. But we can go a little longer with our rotation. I was happy with our freshman posts tonight. Combined, they each got 2-3 baskets, and we got 10 rebounds out of them and 6 blocks between them. And when they can give us some production, that helps too.
Well, it was a great comeback victory. The Vikings 7-3 now overall, and 4-2 in the NSIC. Dave, have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Great. Same to you, Bill.
Up next, Augie Sports Focus. Stay with us.
Cleaning hard water spots takes time and effort. Be sure your water softener is working properly. Your Culligan man can make sure any brand water softener is working by performing a 10-point inspection for only $19.95. That's Culligan. Better water, pure and simple.
Even the highest efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan High Efficiency water softener can. The Culligan High Efficiency saves you up to 46% in operating costs, and it makes your glasses look 100% beautiful.
I was half the person I used to be, literally. I knew that if I didn't have the strength that I'd back in my body, I'd never be able to ride my Harley again, and that was one of my other goals I had, was to be able to get back on the bike. Just being able to get out and experience, the area and the surroundings on the back of a bike is so much different than being in a car. You can smell the smells as you drive through, you can hear the sounds. It's just great. This is my victory.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. For exceptional values on the Audi A4, visit your local dealer today.
When I was young, I loved helping my grandfather with projects. From building a birdhouse to odd jobs around the house, we always got our supplies from Schoenemann's. I remember the smell of the fresh-cut lumber and all the bins full of nails, nuts, and bolts. Today, my projects are a bit bigger, and so is Schoenemann's selection. I rely on them for everything I need.
Schoenemann's in Sioux Falls and Harrisburg. Expert advice, everything you need.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
Augie Sports Focus is brought to you by Schoenemann's.
Joining me now is Augustana senior point guard Dre Murray. Dre, great to have you on Augustana Sportscene. We're right after the Vikings' tough loss here at the Elman Center against Minnesota State Moorhead, but we'll get back to that here in a little bit and talk about the team. But first off, Dre, fans out there, I'm sure they're wondering, how did a guy from Huntsville, Texas get to Augustana?
It all started, I was finna leave Sam Houston State, and I was gonna go to a school in San Antonio and Cardinal Word, and the coach told me that I need to play at the top program, Division II program, so he told me about Augustana, introduced me to Coach B, and it just went from there, and Coach B made me feel like I was at home, so I decided to come here.
And you've been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the program, I like the campus life. It's a good atmosphere around here.
Well, we're glad you're here, and you're fun to watch out there. Well, the ball club this year, the Vikings right now at 8-2, kind of a disappointing loss tonight, but looking at the big picture here with a long season to go, how do you think our ball club's going to do?
Oh, we're going to be fine. Our goal was never to go undefeated because that's just tough to do. We just want to make sure we take care of things, correct things when we get back out the Christmas break and get back on the winning streak so we can get to our goal. And our goal is to win a conference championship, then also go in the NCAA tournament and compete there and win a championship as well.
Well, your game is multifaceted. You started playing basketball. How old were you?
6 in YMCA, a little league out in Huntsville.
Okay, and then high school ball, how did played where at?
At Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Texas.
All right, and then of course on to Sam Houston and then Augustana. Dre, your game is, as I said, multifaceted. You can score, you can pass, you can rebound, you can really jump for a guy your size. So, you know, what do you think about your game? What do you like to do?
I really just like to make my teammates better and be a leader out there. It's all fun when everybody's clicking and on the same page. So it's just me just keeping our chemistry together and just having fun out on the court with my teammates.
Okay, playing basketball a long time. What do you like about the game of basketball?
The game I like is just the outstanding plays, like the no-look passes, the slam dunks, just outstanding plays. Good basketball is what I like.
Yeah, and as far as a major, what are you working on?
Fitness management, trying to coach and hopefully teach at the high school level.
Would you like to play some more basketball?
Yeah, after this season, I want to go continue playing ball overseas for a little while before I start working and teaching.
Okay, and you're going to have a chance to take a little break here. What are you doing over the Christmas break?
Flying home in the morning, ready to go back home to Huntsville, have fun, catch up with my family and friends, then get back here and get back to business.
Okay, you got a lot of brothers and sisters down there?
2 sisters, but a lot of family.
Okay. How about family? Are they going to get up to any of the games this year at Augustana?
Yeah, actually I got like 5 people coming there for senior night, but then I got like some more families coming like next semester to come. They'll check out some in January and February, so that'll be fun.
Great. Just to finish up here, you've only been at Augustana a few months. I think you showed up in the summer here and kind of been around since then, but how do you like Sioux Falls? How do you like Augustana?
The community is good. They make you feel welcome. Everyone has an open hand out for you. So I like the community. I like Sioux Falls a lot. There's a lot of stuff to do out here for college students, and I'm just happy with the decision I made to come here.
Well, fans, I know you like Dre Murray, so if you haven't seen this guy play, get over to the Elman Center and watch him. He's a good one. And Dre, I want to wish you happy holidays and go get him.
All right, thank you. You too.
The Augustana Sports Spotlight is next. We'll be right back.
Here's to all you crazies. You, the hometown diehards, the fanatics. That's what a fan is after all. You live or die by what happens on the field, on the court, and in your heart every time your team plays. So, let your freak flag fly. We're here for you. Midco Sportsnet. This is how we do sports.
There's just times that there's a lot of darkness. I would be in church looking at the PowerPoint and just thinking, This could be my funeral, this could be my pictures up there. The day came when I could actually stand in front of our congregational family and I could sing a solo, and that was so huge because I had forgotten how beautiful a song could be in my heart. My word is celebrate.
They're not that easy to come by. The teachers who engage us, the truly gifted ones, the ones whose words stay with us for days or even years. The odds are you'll only know a few of them, unless you go to Augustana. Then your chances are greatly improved. Augustana.
With every click of a LifeTouch camera, a school memory is captured. Education benefits. And children are safer. LifeTouch School Portraits. Great things come from great pictures.
Cleaning hard water spots takes time and effort. Be sure your water softener is working properly. Your Culligan man can make sure any brand water softener is working by performing a 10-point inspection for only $19.95. That's Culligan. Better water, pure and simple.
Even the highest efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan High Efficiency water softener can. The Culligan High Efficiency saves you up to 46% in operating costs, and it makes your glasses look 100% beautiful.
The Augustana Sports Spotlight is brought to you by Culligan Water Conditioning. Coach Ashley Buckley's Augustana volleyball team provided a lot of thrills during the fall 2011 season as they posted a 16-12 overall record and a 10-10 mark in NSIC play. The young Vikings had no seniors on the team and also had a big setback as all-conference libero Grace Sanders was lost to a season-ending Achilles heel injury. Individually, Jordan Spatanka led the team with 334 kills, with Holly Halfmeyer close behind with 322. Setter Danny Haley dished out 791 assists for a per-match average of over 10 per contest. Kayla Walrick led Augustana in digs with 386, while Holly Halfmeyer again was a team leader as she had 99 blocks. Junior outside hitter Jordan Spatanka and sophomore middle blocker Holly Halfmeyer were named to the All-NSIC team. Coach Buckley also announced the signing of 5 outstanding recruits, so optimism is high as the Vikings look forward to the 2012 fall season.
You've been watching Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on NCAA Division II athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at augie.edu.